You're familiar with the story, and it's another example of this issue on college campuses where people scream, it's my First Amendment right to quash your First Amendment right. And we still don't have an answer for this. So I just, for a moment, as you sit here and look at it, I thought we were trying to resolve this, and it doesn't seem to be resolved.
Well, I mean, we've got to give this a little bit of time, I think, to play out. It could be resolved if it's handled correctly. First, I trust Randy Woodson, Chancellor at NC State. He's always done a great job to kind of keep this stuff at bay, make sure it doesn't blow up into his campus. Tonight will be a real test, I guess, with the speeches tonight. So I trust Randy will do the right thing because he always has. But like in this case, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, there are groups of people out there. In fact, it's 99% of the time it's those on the left, they're little anarchists and socialists that think that they have the right to yell down, scream down, shout down, paint over top, do whatever to somebody's free speech or free expression and call it free speech or free expression. And, as a reminder, shouting down somebody else's free speech is not free speech. And so that's why we created the bill that we did in North Carolina. You remember this case. We talked about it extensively. We're the first state in the nation to have a comprehensive free speech bill, which put some teeth behind this on college campuses to make sure that students are being held accountable for their actions, also to make sure that at orientation of these schools that these students are learning this. They know this. There's no excuse at that point. You don't just get to go do this. So you may not like somebody's speech. That's really not what it's about. Anybody, left, right, middle, anywhere else, should have the freedom to speak, and they should have the right to have a platform to speak, and you have the right to protest peacefully in a certain time, place, and manner to do that. But you don't have the right to shut them down. And of all places, as we've talked about before, college campus should be the most open to free speech. And this is, again, we've talked about before, this is the opposite of what we had in the 60s, the protests we had in the 60s related to free speech and free expression.
And by the way, spraying somebody, if I went in the studio and sprayed Ross in the face with a bunch of spray paint right now, I would be guilty of assault. I mean, that's the extra added component here. So I really hope that, as this
we'll see where that plays out. Yeah. Again, we haven't had the opportunity to watch it play out yet. It's a brand new story. I think the bigger story is going to be tonight and what happens with Charlie Kirk and Laura Trump when they come out to speak, and to make sure that they have the freedom to speak their mind, and people have the right to protest peacefully on campus as well.